In this video I will demonstrate the use of the add ingredient and add direction forms by entering a bunch of instructions plucked randomly from different recipes on the internet. So we'll start with this one, 1.5 kilograms of baby potatoes, and I'll be just copying and pasting this information in. Okay, so we'll go here and say add ingredient. So baby potatoes, 1.5 kilos, 1.5 kilograms, and that's done. And next instruction is 1/2 pound of ground veal. So ground veal, ground veal, 1/2 pound will be 0.5 pound. As you can see, the system has automatically converted that into kilograms because our default measurement system is metric. So we'll take the next 3 spring onions finely diced. Now this is an example of when an ingredient and an instruction or a prep instruction are mixed together. We don't want to do that. What we'll do is we'll just add the ingredient first, spring onions. And whenever there is a loose quantity, we'll just put it in the free measure field. So 3 spring onions. And then when we come to entering directions, here we'll say finely chop the spring onions. So this way it becomes part of prep and makes the cooking process more streamlined rather than jumping back and forth between gathering the ingredients and prepping them. So next we'll take onion 1 small and we'll just go the name of the ingredient, onion, free measure 1, and in a comment we'll put small. Now you might think this is too fancy and unnecessary, but it is actually necessary for whenever we change the number of servings. For example, when the recipe is written for 4 people and we only want to cook for 2, when we change the number of servings, then all of these numbers, they are divided. In that case they will be divided by 2, and this form of notation helps. For example, here you will see that it will be 1 divided by 2 onion small, and it will still make sense. Next is 1 egg. So egg 1. Done. Next, 4 slices of shortcut bacon. So that will be shortcut bacon. Free measure is 4 slices. And in the prep we'll say finely diced, right? Finely diced the bacon. Okay. Next, cancel. We'll come back to ingredients. 1 cup of mayonnaise. 1 liquid cup. And done. Next ingredient is 1/2 cup of sour cream. I hope you're getting the hang of this. Now it's still liquid, I guess. 1/2 cup. That won't make much difference in this case whether we select liquid or dry, because the weight is relatively equal. Now 2/3 cup of milk. So we count milk, and in here we have 2/3 liquid cup. Okay, Now, 4 10.5 ounce cans beef broth. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of math here, and 4 times 10.5 is 42. We'll add beef broth, 42 fluid ounce. Okay, so the next 2 tablespoons dry sherry, and it's optional. Dry sherry, we say 2 liquid tablespoons, and in the comments we'll say optional. Next, now pinch of freshly ground black pepper. So we can say black pepper. So in the ingredient we always enter simply the name of the ingredient, and freshly ground goes into the comment, and because in here it's a pinch, so we'll add it into a free measure, pinch. There we go. So black pepper pinch, or we should have said actually 1 pinch. Let's edit that. 1 pinch. Okay. So 1 pinch, freshly ground. And you will see why we do this once we finish this process. 1 cup red seedless grapes. So red seedless grapes. Let's get that back. 1 cup, and we'll consider it dry. About 240. Now here you have an option actually at any time. If you think that 1 cup of seedless grapes is not really 240, because this conversion table is based on pure liquids, on water actually. Some of the ingredients may be lighter or heavier than water, and you may need to make adjustments or make a judgment call here. So I'd say that seedless grapes, 1 cup of them, would be about 200 grams, and I can save it this way. So as you can see, even though it says 1 cup down here, it's still 200 grams. This is important for purchasing. I mean, in these small quantities it may not matter, but if you are cooking for 20 people it will. So next, we haven't finished that yet. Sliced in half or 1/4 cup of raisins. Now this is a bit that goes into the comments section. I'll update it that way. So this instruction has now become more complex, but it's all in there. Now the next thing we'll do is add some directions. For example, this one here says preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 350 degrees for the baked method. Anyway, so we'll copy this whole thing and we'll come back to directions. We'll just paste that in. And now 425 degrees of Fahrenheit, we want to replace that with 425 Fahrenheit. Now as you can see, it's converted immediately into Fahrenheit Celsius, and let's have a look. So preheat the oven to 425 Fahrenheit. What I forgot to do is to change this one as well. 350 Fahrenheit. Insert. Alright, so now this instruction is done properly. As you can see, both Fahrenheit and Celsius values are in there. Next, warm the olive oil in a 12-inch cast iron skillet. Now how does this one go into our directions form? We'll select the 12-inch part and say 12 inches and insert. and as you can see, it automatically inserts the converted centimeter or decimal value as well. Okay, so I'll save that. Next instruction is, now this is a very complex instruction. You can see that it says add carrots, leeks, celery, beetroot, etc. And bay leaves, stir well to coat with butter. Then cook another 10 minutes, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, grate the remaining beetroot. Now these are three different instructions mixed into one, which is not good. So what we'll do, we'll split them into three different instructions, and first will be this one. Okay, that's done. Next, cook for another 10 minutes. We'll do that. And here we'll insert a timer, so that when you cook, you can insert the timer. You can just set the timer and not keep watching the clock. Next. And the last part of this is grate the remaining beetroot. So, remaining beetroot, nothing is done here, and we're done. So as you can see now, we have a step-by-step process here, which makes a lot more sense than the jumbled instruction that we had. So when we preview this recipe, you can see that in here the servings is set to 2, but we want to cook for 5, for example. It's a complex scenario. Now, the interesting thing to see here is the difficult to quantify items such as shortcut bacon 4 slices. The best way the system could say how to do this for 5 people instead of 2 was to add 150% to that. So some math will be necessary. At least the system prompts you what to do here, as opposed to you trying to figure it out. Now, mayonnaise 600 ml, this is a recalculated value, but you can see that also the cups, we had a half a cup measurement for 2 people, so now it's 2.5 cups. The system recalculated it. And this one here, dry sherry 75 ml or 5 tablespoons, and you can see that optional, we put it in the comments, so it's not part of the measurement, and the system doesn't try to multiply or divide it, etc. These are the reasons why we have several fields in the ingredient input here, and it sort of looks complex because there are all these fields, but once you understand what's what, it will make much more sense.